Just so we're all up to speed, the Audi A3 is a small premium sedan that competes with the BMW 2 Series Grand Coupe and the Mercedes-Benz A-Class.
This is the 4th generation Audi A3. I think we're going to be friends.
You might have vague memories of Audi selling a hatchback A3, but these days, the sedan body style is your only choice. Versus Generation 3, the latest A3 has grown a skosh. It's marginally longer, wider, and taller, but the resulting shape retains the A3's tidy charm.
Yours is the opinion that matters, but personally, I am charmed by the A3's chiseled face, muscly fenders, and fit middle. It looks like it's been hitting the Ingolstadt Crossfit.
As expected, a slightly bigger outside yields a slightly bigger inside.
Let's subject the A3's interior to my intense 5'10" averageness. Up front, let me guess, I'm gonna fit just fine. I fit just fine. Though I do like the driving position. You have a pretty good extension on the steering wheel here, and yeah, that fits nicely. There's my front seat position. How do I fit behind myself? Okay, this looks a little cozy. Knee clearance is okay, but I will say that headroom is a little bit tight. And for demonstration purposes, let me move over here so you got a better view on it. Yeah, top of my head's hitting. You know, I'm 5'10", but I do have that long, sexy torso, so that does make the headroom a little bit of an issue. This is cozy. I could hang here for a bit, but just a bit.
Unsurprisingly, the small Audi is small. The trunk is also cozy, but it offers large load flexibility via a super wide pass-through. Stylistically, the cabin reflects the same taut athleticism expressed by the exterior. You might notice there's a strong driver-centric theme here, what with the center screen angled leftward. Sorry, front seat passenger.
I've also noticed that the driver's side air vents are quite prominent. It's almost like Audi expects me to work up a sweat driving the A3. You know me well.
From a tactile perspective, there's a satisfying mix of upscale materials and reasonable feeling plastics. This might be the entry-level Audi, but it doesn't feel cheap.
There are a few oddities though. I like the look of this genuine stitching on the dash, but I'm not sure what it's meant to be stitching together. That's a form over function situation there. And then we've got this little vestigial drive selector down here, which I'd be more on board with if it didn't make this little squeaky plastic noise when I push it. Let me counter those with a little bit of praise. I do like this armrest. It's quite adjustable, so you can kind of figure out your ideal position. That's sort of a classic VW thing that has found its way into an Audi, and I like it very much.
Before I forget, let me bemoan this dust and fingerprint collecting black plastic trim. Moving on to screen space, we've got a standard 10.1-inch center display, plus this standard 10.25-inch driver information display that can be upgraded to a 12.3-inch unit. For smartphone connectivity, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come standard.
Regarding infotainment, I like the interface. You've got these clear, different icons with different colors. It's just really easy to find your way around. I've got wireless Apple CarPlay here, and you can also use your voice to activate the system to give it your demands. Hey Audi! Hey Audi! What can you do for me?
What can I do for you?
Can you turn it up? The temperature? Thinking.
What temperature should be set?
73.
I am increasing the temperature to 73 degrees Fahrenheit.
I am enjoying the warmer temperature. I do have one complaint though. Down here, you've got your volume control. Instead of having a proper knob, you've got this little capacitive unit. It actually works fine, but I'm old school, man. I prefer a knob. How do you feel about knobs?
So far there's lots to like, but the A3's potential isn't fully realized until you put it in motion.
The A3's premium premise is supported by a fairly quiet cabin. As for ride quality, you definitely feel the road, but it doesn't feel harsh. I also like the steering's precise feel. Let's put it to good use. Let's see. Oh look, we got a roundabout. Let's see how the A3 steers. Yep, steering feel lands in the predictable and enjoyable category.
By disposition, the A3 has a balanced fun-comfort ratio. For power, the A3 utilizes a standard 2-liter turbocharged engine with a 48-volt mild hybrid system.
if you find yourself in stop-and-go traffic. You will note that the 48-volt mild hybrid system turns the engine off a lot to save fuel, and the restart isn't completely seamless. There's just a little bit of a clunk. If all that engine on, engine off action starts to grate on you, the off button is right down here. Full throttle acceleration yields a 0 to 60 time around 6.5 seconds, which is good, but the passionate side of me wants more.
Well, on screen, Micah, you actually do get more with the base engine, specifically more miles per gallon than the previous A3. Here are the 4th gen's fuel economy figures. Yes, front-wheel drive comes standard. If you want all-wheel drive with the base 2-liter engine, budget an extra $2,000. If the more you seek specifically relates to horsepower, there is a solution. It's called the S3, which also features a 2-liter turbocharged engine minus the base engine's mild hybrid abilities and tuned to produce a more vivacious 306 horsepower. I'm told the S3 cuts about 2 seconds off the A3's 0 to 60 time. Yes, math geniuses, that's about 4.5 seconds for the S3. While less efficient and pricier, the S3 benefits from a sportingly lowered ride height, larger 14.1-inch front brake rotors, standard all-wheel drive, and a standard adaptive suspension. For fun-sized thrills with an Audi badge, this is the play. Excluding the late-arriving RS3, of course, complete with its 2.5-liter inline 5-cylinder 401 horsepower engine, its torque-vectoring clutch-based rear differential, drift mode, and a standard price around $59,000. I'll add that regardless of engine, all A3 variants employ a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission.
Traditionally, DCTs have offered very quick shifts, but sometimes clunky operation at slow speeds. In this case, it's not quite as velvety smooth at creep speeds as a normal automatic transmission, but it's not far off.
Helping minimize the A3's crash potential are standard lane departure warning and forward collision warning. If you do get into a crash, there are 10 airbags ready to cushion the impact, including rear side airbags. You can also upgrade the A3's active assist technology with options like blind spot monitoring, automatic parking assist, and full-speed adaptive cruise control, a feature that I've often noted comes standard on a $20,000 Toyota Corolla. In cheapest guise, a front-wheel drive A3 premium trim costs right about $34,000, not including destination charges. At that price, the A3 comes nicely equipped with a sunroof, 4 USB-C ports, 3-zone automatic climate control, and leather seating surfaces plus heated front seats offering 4-way power lumbar support. The Mercedes-Benz A-Class starts right about the same price as the A3, while the BMW 2 Series Gran Coupe is about $1,700 costlier, though the BMW's price premium is partially accounted for by its slight horsepower advantage. If you want to fancy up your A3, you can add niceties like wireless phone charging, more dazzling LED head and taillights, fancier interior appointments,
And my mandatory add-on of choice, smart key access, because reaching in my pocket to push a button on a fob is very 1999.
If you long to drive an Audi, the A3 is the absolute cheapest way to do so. But that doesn't mean it's a bummer to own. Quite the opposite.
The A3 looks, feels, and drives just like an Audi, except on a smaller scale. As a guy who would rather not wrap up all of my funds in a car payment, that's a formula I love.